welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Imperium, your video guide to your Imperium subscription. In this episode, we are going to look at issue 4. I'm Louise.
And I'm Peachy. In this video, we'll be helping you to build your new SKORPEKH destroyers that come with issue 4 and adding more colour to your models with your new LEADBELCHER paint.
We'll also be getting your newest unit into battle against the Space Marines in your biggest game yet, and on your larger battle map.
Before we delve into building, painting and gaming, let's take a look at the new information about the 41st millennium found in your magazine. As you'd expect, there's a focus on your new unit, the SKORPEKH destroyers. These Necrons have been driven insane by their long sleep and want nothing more but to kill.
You'll be able to name your SKORPEKH destroyers and keep track of their kills on the battle record for them as well.
In this issue, you'll also find out how Space Marines are made, going from human aspirant to genetically modified killing machines.
There is also a look at the sinister dimension known as the Warp, through which Imperial ships travel to get from world to world. The Warp is also home to the dark gods of chaos, and its touch can corrupt or destroy even the staunchest soul.
That sounds terrifying. I'm glad I can just take the bus.
Well, that is all the new background for this issue, but I bet you're eager to build your new unit.
I know I am. So let's grab our clippers and let's get started. The SKORPEKH destroyers are a new unit for your Necrons collection. There are 3 of them in this issue, along with a Canoptek plasma which accompanies them into battle. If you followed the other 3 videos in this series, you'll be quite experienced at building your models by now. The SKORPEKH destroyers are your biggest models yet, but if you remember everything you've done in the last few videos and follow the instructions in your magazine, you'll have your models ready in no time. There are a couple of things to keep in mind when building your SKORPEKH destroyers. The spine and shoulder components are quite thin, so be careful with them, both when you're assembling them and when you push the models into their bases. You'll also want to be careful when fitting the legs into the correct slots. If you accidentally put them in incorrectly, they can be very difficult to get back out. Once your SKORPEKH destroyers and the Canoptek plasma sight are built, it's time to get some paint on them and to add a new colour to the rest of your models.
Over the last 2 issues, you've painted Necron models with Runelord Brass and Space Marines with Macragge Blue. Soon, you'll be giving them all an additional colour, LEADBELCHER. This is a dark metal that is perfect for weapons and other details on both Necrons and Space Marines.
But before you do that, you'll want to base coat your SKORPEKH destroyers and Canoptek plasma sight with Runelord Brass. You know how to do this? 3 thin coats. Just as with your other Necrons, refer to the pictures in your magazine to see which parts should be painted with Runelord Brass.
Once you've finished base coating your destroyers and plasma sight, it's time to try out your newest colour. Grab your LEADBELCHER, give it a good shake, get some clean water, and let's go.
Each of your units will use LEADBELCHER on different areas of the models. Your Space Marines, for example, will use it on their weapons, the vents on their backpack, and a few more details that you'll see in your magazine. Refer to the guides for each model.
Like the Runelord Brass, 3 thin coats on each area should be enough for a smooth and full coverage. Take your time and paint carefully, and before you know it, you'll be a step closer to having fully painted Space Marines and Necrons.
With all your models painted, it's time to see what the SKORPEKH destroyers can do in battle.
Back in your second game, the Necrons were trying to awaken more of their kind. They've succeeded, and a trio of SKORPEKH destroyers are now defending a Canoptek plasma sight as it works to wake even more.
Of course, for the SKORPEKH destroyers, the best way to protect something is to slaughter everything that could threaten it.
I guess the clue is in the name Destroyer. They're not going to find the Space Marines easy targets though, especially now the Assault Intercessors and their Lieutenant are united. No alien can stand against them.
Let's find out if that's true. It's time to break out your new larger battle map for this game. The Space Marines need to destroy all the enemies to win. The Necrons need to get the Canoptek plasma sight off the Space Marines battle mat edge.
Gather your dice, range ruler and wound markers as usual and set up the models as shown on the map in your magazine.
The increased distances on the larger map make movement more important than ever, so you're going to want to think about how you move and charge, especially since the Space Marines can only use their close combat weapons in this mission.
That sounds like a great challenge. You can play for yourself by following the steps in your magazine. There are no new rules to learn for this game other than the characteristics for your SKORPEKH destroyers, so good luck.
That's all for this video, but we'll be back soon with our final episode covering issue 5 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium, which comes with one of the mightiest warriors of the Space Marines, a Primaris captain.
fantastic, and we will be learning how to build and paint that captain.
You'll also find out just how powerful the Primaris captain can be as he faces off against all 3 SKORPEKH destroyers alone in a new mission.
To make sure you don't miss out, remember to subscribe to Warhammer 40,000 Imperium if you haven't already. You can do so on the website right now, but for this episode, that's it. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.